ladies and gentlemen, as we've mentioned, we've got an impressive field of race cars assembled in our pit area. Into turn number, this gentleman celebrating a birthday, and he turned in a spectacular performance at the Pocono Speedway for the Race of Champions. Driving the Pastriak & Sons paving number 75 out of Lisbon, Connecticut, it is Carl Pastriak. Outside of row number 1, he'll be driving the Rusty Speed Equipment number 20 out of Keene, New Hampshire. It is Rusty Brawl. Second row on the inside, driving car number 50, the Sponsor Wanted Machine out of Stafford Springs, Connecticut, for Jimmy Lyons. Outside of Jimmy Lyons, driving the Universal Auto Salvage, Fine Line Speed and Fabrication, Career Race Repair Shop number U2, it is Ed St. Angelo. 3 rows back on the inside, he'll be driving the Ben Dodge & Sons West Hartford Tool and Die number 36. The number 36 Cavalier for John Rosati out of Agawam, Massachusetts. Outside of him, driving car number 7 New York, he'll be Tommy Baldwin, the Baldwin Automotive Chassis Dynamics built race car. As the number 44 has never looked better. It sets in midfield competition. Only 8 cars are going to make the move up. Lots of surprises in store in this one for sure. This is round number 1. We've still got more to go. Impressively, one of the best fields of the season. All coming down as they're looking for the start. Frank Shimano does not like the way they're getting off the fourth turn. Green comes out, but the caution flag will follow. Everybody really anxious. A lot of pressure on here this afternoon. Big purses up for grabs, $21,000 plus. Makes this event a spectacular one as always. The Coca-Cola Fall Final, right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. They're the sponsors of this prestigious event. It is an event that draws a good crowd, an impressive group of race cars. Final event of the season, let's look for it. Off the fourth turn, green flag comes out as they head for turn 1. Carl Pastriak and Rusty Brawl are doing battle right up front. As St. Angelo tucks it down low with car number U2. John St. Angelo puts the hammer down as they head down the back straightaway. He will take over the number 2 spot as they head into turn number 3. Rusty Ball holds on to that 3rd position. 4th spot is John Rosati. Off the 4th turn, here comes Brett Levine and Reggie Ruggiero. They're getting down in. Looking for 8 positions as they head for turn 1.
Some of the heavy hitters in the back of the pack, as you just mentioned now, starting to work their way up through. Jamie Tomeno in a brand new ride, car number 59. Reggie Ruggiero, the 12 of Bodine, working their way up through. As St. Angelo now begins to put some pressure on Carl Pastriak. Off the 4th turn, it is still car 75, Carl Pastriak, the birthday boy, setting the pace this afternoon. And St. Angelo, relatively new behind the wheel of car U2, is doing a heads-up job as he takes it deep into turn 3.
Off the 4th turn, Carl Pastriak is dialed in. He's looking strong. John St. Angelo runs in 2nd. 3rd spot is John Rosati, and 4th spot is the hot spot on the racetrack. Brett Bodine has went around some of the heavy hitters, and he is now running in that number 4 position with car number 12. Brett Bodine is dialed in. Remember, he won the 200 here at Stafford. He is perhaps one of the fastest cars currently on the racetrack. Keep your eyes on him. Off the 4th turn, here comes John Rosati.
We've got number 36. Turn 4. Rusty Ball goes around with car number 20. Everybody is able to get by. And Jerry Marquis, once again, he takes a ride through the Stafford Car Wash this afternoon. But everyone is
Tom starter Frank Sabato. He is going to give him the green. He has told Carl Pastriak and Ed St. Angelo exactly what to expect off that 4th turn. 4 laps are showing, and the heat is really turned on in this first qualifying round for the NASCAR Modified. Carl Pastriak running his best season ever. He would have to be listed among the contenders for most improved here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. He's celebrating his birthday. He gets a nice jump on St. Angelo. Watch Brett Bodine and Reggie Ruggiero get hooked up on the high side of this racetrack. Brett Bodine has really some horsepower in the Sherwin Industries Sherry Cup machine. They dive deep into the turn. John Rosati a little bit sideways down the back straightaway. It is Brett Bodine up to 3rd. He's got that day-glow orange machine really dialed in. Here comes the shadow. Reggie Ruggiero showing why he is the champion here at Stafford. He gets really hooked up well and starts to put some pressure on, and out of nowhere comes Jamie the Jet Tomeno.
Remember,
tries it to contend. Here comes Ruggiero. Brett Bodine is going to take over 2nd. As they dive into turn number 3, Brett Bodine finds himself in the number 2 spot.
Bodine moving down now underneath the U2 of Eddie St. Angelo off of turn number 4. They're all just a little bit squirrely. In fact, he waves to St. Angelo, realizing that there was almost contact. The 2 of them now off of the 2nd turn. Nice and even. They're stretched out as Carl Pastriak continues to set the pace. Brett Bodine reeling him in now. St. Angelo closing the gap a little bit. Look at the 36 for Rosati, running like gangbusters as Reggie Ruggiero gets crossed up a little bit, coming off the 4th turn.
Jamie the Jet Tomato is now working working the outside of Reggie Ruggiero as they head down the back straightaway. He cannot get the job done. He taps the back bumper of the Shadow. Carl Pasternak has his hands full, but he is doing a great job holding on to the groove and setting the pace in this qualifying round. As they head for turn one, the popsicle sticks are up. Brett Bodine is looking to go for it down low. St. Angelo tries to get a piece of it. He cannot get it this time around as they head down the back straightaway. Gentlemen, Jack Lucas drops out with car number 85. Front four cars, bumper to bumper. Last circuit, Ruggerio's got his hands full with Jamie Tomato and Mike Stefanik. Let's see what's going to happen in the final circuit.
White flag is out. Carl Pasternak into turn number one. He is setting the pace and holding that lead. Brett Bodine looking for running room somewhere, but Carl manages to use up just enough real estate. They're side by side into three. However, Pasternak holds off the charges of Bodine. The checkered flag waves. This time around, it will be Carl Pasternak, Bodine, St. Angelo, Rosati, Tommy Baldwin make that Jamie Tomato in next in the fifth spot. Unofficially, in sixth would be the 11 of Stefanik. Seventh would be the 10 of Falcone, and we will sit tight on the final qualifying spot until we get it from
It
the start.
appears as we look down the back straightaway here at car number 44, the 1983 Stafford Motor Speedway track champion appears to have some type of a problem with his racing machine. In the final circuit, it puffed heavy smoke heading off the fourth turn area. He started to move down low on the inside of the racetrack, and you can see it appears that there is some type of fluid coming out from car number 44, the Danny VC race car. Tough break for him as Russ Davil recaps the finish in that first qualifying round.
Okay, taking down the win from Lisbon, Connecticut in the Pasternak & Sons paving car number 75, Carl Pasternak. Brett Bodine in for second. Ed St. Angelo for third. John Rosati fourth. The 59 of Jamie Tomato fifth. Reggie Ruggiero coming in for sixth. Mike Stefanik in a brand new Ford-powered race car in for seventh. And John Falcone finishing eighth.
So there you have it as we're set to go with the second NASCAR Winston Racing Series qualifying round. Corky Cookman out of Green Farms, Connecticut. The Bubby's Race Chaser machine, the B.J. Dolan, go to the winner of that event. Pressure is on. This is the second qualifier for the modified division. 2x2. Frank Scambato, Chris Hopkins stares him down off the fourth turn. We are looking for the start in round number 2. The ground pounders unleashed off turn 4. Cookman gets the light. Here comes Richie Evans.
Corky Cookman jumps out all by himself into turn number 1. Richie Evans now moves in for the second spot. Here comes George Summers down underneath Dick Traynor to pick up the third spot. Summers, who won that incredible show just last weekend up in Oxford Plains, Maine, sits back in the third position. This just about the end of his 31-year career in racing as he slides underneath the Rapid Roman as we've got trouble in turn number 1.
It is car number 26 going around for Gary McDonald and the number 87 machine. The 87 actually got airborne and was up on the front end of the Bob Povereri number 711. So car number 87, Bob Purcell, out of West Babylon, New York, in the K&T Productions machine. Gets up on top of Speedway. You can come to the swap meet and head to Thompson and watch the race program in the afternoon and enjoy the best of both worlds. Let's see what's going to happen. Richie Evans faltered a bit, just a little bit. Anticipating that start is starter Frank Scambato. Continues to wave the yellow. Everybody will tighten up just a bit now before we're set to go
Around. They're side by side. The green flag is out. Everybody is sound asleep. Corky Cookman and Richie Evans catching a few Z's. However, they wake up now, and Cookman gets the light. Evans in for second, and George Summers for third. They're single file into turn number 1. Summers looks underneath Evans. However, Richie is able to outmotor him off of that second turn. Once again, the field is moving through turns 3 and 4. Corky Cookman sets the pace. Richie Evans in for second. George Summers now down underneath.
Keep your eyes on George Summers. He is hooked up well down on the inside of the racetrack. We told you he was the fastest car here in the warm-up, and he definitely is showing you a trace of that talent as he sets in the number 2 spot. Summers is looking to end his fantastic career of auto racing with a win here this afternoon in the fall final. He sets in second, right on the back bumper of Corky Cookman with the Bubby's Race Chaser machine. Richie Evans has to settle for the number 3 spot. 4th is Tony Siscone. 5th is Mark Fleury. 6th is Mike Mike McLaughlin, 7th, Ray Miller, and 8th, holding down that final qualifying spot is George Kent. He is getting a little bit stronger, but not as impressive as we thought he would be in this qualifying round.
Kent obviously having some handling problems. You can see a front end push as he gets down near the bottom of the racetrack. He now tries the outside groove to make a move around Miller, but up front, the battle continues. The 04 of Cookman sets the pace, but keep an eye on George Summers. He is running like gangbusters this afternoon. He tries the high side, the low side, and he is trying to make a move as we cross the stripe to complete the halfway point. Corky Cookman from Green Farms, Connecticut, off of turn number 2 in this qualifying round 4 of the modified. Cookman setting the pace. George Summers runs in second. Defending champion in almost anything you can think of, Richie Evans runs in the 3rd spot, and 4th is the 14 of Tony Siscone. Those are your top 4. Back into the 5th position, car number 7 for Flurry. Making a move now to challenge Flurry. The Z8 of Mike McLaughlin, Ray Miller, George Kent also in there doing battle. Those are your top 8 cars. We cross the stripe, 7-lap show on the scoreboard. Corky Cookman continues to set a torrid pace here this afternoon, as he and Summers have now opened up just a little bit on 3rd place Richie Evans and 4th place Tony Siscone. This time around, the 2-lap marker is up. 2 to go. Frank Scamato indicates to the field they're in their final 2 laps. Corky Cookman beginning to open it up a little bit now as Summers falters coming off of the 2nd turn. The white flag waves. Corky Cookman off the 4th corner. Looks to the starter stand. He sees that white flag waving, and he's into his final lap. Here's Cookman, Summers, Evans, Siscone. Up the backstretch, single file. The battle continues back there for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Your final car is now the 01 of Ray Miller as George Kent moves up on the outside. There is contact off of turn number 4. Corky Cookman takes down the win. In for second, the 21 of Summers. Evans in 3rd. Siscone is
the 1983 River Park Speedway track champion Stan Greger out of New Britain, Connecticut. 3 rows back on the inside. They refer to him as Mr. Excitement, and we're glad I gave him that name here way back in Spring Sizzler competition a couple of seasons back. He'll be driving car number 24, Pennsylvania, after winning the Pocono Race of Champions. Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer out of Berwick, Pennsylvania. Outside of him, driving the number 33, the Charlie's Radiator Cavalier, is Wade Cole out of Riverton. In the 7th starting position, the Wilsburg Racing Enterprises, Rule and Electric number 5, New York, for Brian Ross out of Ballston Spa, New York, Connecticut. In the 13th position, the number 51 for Bob Potter out of Ockham, Connecticut. Outside of him, Carl Bugsy Stevens, Stafford's all-time winningest driver in the Bob Garbarino Mystic Missile, followed by the number 09 of Brian Schofield and the number 8 Rhode Island of Murray as we go to green.
Green flag is out, and Kenny Bouchard makes a move into the lead as we are all bunched up off of turn number 2. Bouchard continues to set the pace, but look up on the outside. Who do we find there? Stan Greger makes his move around Kenny Bouchard, and Greger, driving the car that took him to the 1983 track championship at Riverside Park, takes over the lead on the outside of Ken Bouchard, something you don't see very often
You
here at
certainly
Stafford.
don't, and that's the short track car that they run at the Riverside Park Speedway. It is really dialed in. Stan Greger looking very, very strong, and Bill Pelly's race car as he leads them off the 4th turn. He'll set the pace as they head for turn number 1. Kenny Bouchard has to settle for the number 2 spot. 3rd is the number 0 of Marty Radwick. 4th is Jimmy Spencer. 5th is Wayne Anderson. We've got trouble. Murray loses a right rear tire and comes in minor contact with the Armco retaining wall. 2 laps are down. Caution flag comes out. Very, very impressive. Stan Greger, a very talented driver. Running in 2nd, Kenny Bouchard, the man that is running number 2 in the point standings, and it appears by the looks of the points that he will stay in that number 2 position. And it appears that the top 10 will almost be pretty much unchanged, or the top 5 will be pretty much unchanged going into the final event of the season, the fall final. Marty Radwick, another good short track driver, setting in the 3rd position in Ralph Solom's race car. And really, Ralph Solom, the man that built the number 0, really prides himself with the fact that he believes this is one of the least expensive cars in the field. And it really is a credit to Ralph Solom, who's been around the sport for a long, long time. It does it on a budget. You wouldn't know it by the way that car is running this qualifying round. Car number 33, the front bumper you can see on Wade Cole's car. It looks as if it's about to come off from the automobile. Through the qualifying heat, so you get a good starting spot in the main event And that's where all the money is. $3,000 goes to the winner. Ridgeway Racing Associates is putting up some great contingencies, product support awards, and some additional giveaways. We'll be telling you more about that later in this afternoon's program. Don't forget to stop down at the concession stand, get yourself an ice cold Coca-Cola, buy one, get one free. Coca-Cola, America's best and favorite soft drink, available to you exclusively right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Kenny Bouchard, the man who currently sits in the outside pole position, will be the guest this coming Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7:30.
Going to happen. Stan Greger sets behind the wheel of a car that we nicknamed the Red Rocket Sled. In short track competition, it sets right up front. Kenny Bouchard, veteran driver here at Stafford. He's had a great season. Outstanding individual. He's trying to make his mark in NASCAR Winston racing action. Let's see what's going to happen. Greger goes a little bit slower than anticipated. Kenny Bouchard pulls out a bit, and they're going to have to go around one more time before they go to green flag competition.
Or for a restart, because it's who gets on the gas first and who is going to be there when the flag does in fact come out to indicate the race is back onto green.
Green flag comes out. They are really hammering it off that fourth turn. It's going to be a torrid drag race for turn number one. Greger gets the bite. He will set the pace. Here comes the Ralph Sola machine from Marty Radwick. Trying to look for some room down low. Rid Patchen goes sliding, and once you get on that grassed-in area, he tries to gather it back, hits one of the extinguishers, holds on to the automobile, did a really great job trying to avoid what could have been a serious situation between turns 1 and 2 as the caution comes out once again. Well, unfortunately, here this afternoon, Russ, the grassed-in infield area is just so slick that once you get a tire, one of these 13.5-inch racing slicks on this grass, you're going to go...
So seeing Rid Patchen back in action before the day is over. People like George Murray in the infield, the Dave Thomas car, all of them will hopefully be back in action and have to try to make it through the consolation rounds. We have at least one more lap before we'll go back to green. In fact, the clinched green flag.
He is back out, picking up at the rear of the field. Only 2 laps are down. Stan Greger, Kenny Bouchard are going to try to do it once again, side by side. About the same type of a start as we've seen during the last circuit. Let's see, Greger's got it hands down as he heads for turn 1.
Kenny Bouchard did get a better start that time. He was able to hold off the charges of Marty Radwick. Bouchard dropped in for second. Radwick is third, moving up into fourth. Car 5 for Brian Ross, and out of nowhere is the 4 for Carl Bug Stevens. Stevens sitting in a good qualifying position as we cross the stripe, make it 3 laps in the record book, and Stan Greger sets the pace.
Brian Ross right there on the back bumper, but here comes Carl Bugsy Stevens to tap on him, looking for some icing room as they head single file into turn number 3. It is car number 10 still setting the pace, and that is Stan Greger leading him off the fourth turn. The number 7 of Butch Perry goes sliding and gets onto that grass. He spins around, corrects the automobile. He is out of harm's way, trying to get back out and rejoin the field. We are still on the green, 4 laps and counting down. It is still Greger out in front, but look out, the Hoosier tires are starting to get hooked up and heated up. And now we find Kenny Bouchard moving right in on the back bumper of Stan Greger.
He most certainly is. He is well within striking distance, and now he looks to the low side. Greger does not leave the door open very wide, and Bouchard is unable to drop in there. However, they are single file up the backstretch with Kenny Bouchard right on the bumper of Stan Greger. Marty Radwick sits back there in the 3rd spot. 4th belongs to the number 5 of Brian Ross, and 5th, of course, to Carl Bug Stevens.
Kenny Bouchard moves down underneath Stan Greger as they head off that second turn down the back straightaway. Bouchard's got those Hoosier tires all heated up now, and Greger has his hands full as he looks in the mirror and he sees that canary yellow number 55 glued to his back bumper all the way down the front straightaway. Marty Radwick waits in the wings with car number 0, followed by Brian Ross and Carl Bugsy Stevens. Single file, they're freight training down the back straightaway. It's a long way from over with yet, less than 2 to go when they head to the line, though. Keep your eyes on Bouchard. He is tapping the back bumper of Greger. Greger holds that groove nicely as they head for turn 1.
Stan Greger, who has already taken down a feature event, would like nothing better than to be able to pull off this qualifying heat this afternoon, and it looks like he's in pretty good shape to do it. We've got Jimmy Spencer coming up through the field. Spencer now up into the 6th spot after making 2 trips to the pit area. The white flag is out this time for Stan Greger.
Final circuit of competition. Stan Greger does a great job of holding on, but here comes Kenny Bouchard. Bouchard tries to get his wheels down underneath Greger as they head down the back straightaway. Greger's got the red rocket sled out in front. He is going to try to hold on as they head off the fourth turn. Checkered flag is out. Greger will take down the win for the Pelly crew. Finishing second, Kenny Bouchard. Third is Marty Radwick. Fourth is Brian Ross. And fifth is Carl Bugsy Stevens. Sixth spot will go to Jimmy Spencer. Seventh, George Brunhosel. And unofficially in the eighth spot, it'll be the number 15 of Wayne Anderson. So there you have it to recap the finish. To take down the win, the Ferris Speed Equipment number 10 machine, the Bill Pelly-owned race car for Stan Greger. Finishing in the number 2 spot, driving car number 55, the Toman Construction Company, Hoosier Tire, Ed's Auto Machine Power number 55 for Kenny Bouchard. Third spot will be the number 0, the Ralph Solom race car for Marty Radwick. Fourth spot, the Wilsburg Racing Enterprise, number 5 for Brian Roth. Fifth spot, it'll be Carl Bugsy Stevens, driving car number 4. Sixth position will be the number 24, Jimmy Spencer. Special edition Trans Am. Speedway Scene, racing's number 1 newspaper. Paul Tremaine, checkered flag announcer. The beautiful Riverside Park Budweiser Light Machine. The Thompson International Speedway pace car. And Peter Locke at the wheel of the Granville. This is the final event of the 1983 season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. They are going to be looking for the green this next time around. It's been a super year of competition here at Stafford. Several different winners in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. For those of you that were with us, you know the highlights of 1983. You know what a highly competitive season it's been. This is why Stafford prides itself as being the premier showcase of the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. There is no race facility finer anywhere in the country. When you come to the half mile here at Stafford, you know what short track racing is all about. We breed the best of them when it comes to auto racing. Bob, this is what racing is, where it's all happening, right here. For short track racing at its finest, your final chance to bid to them for responding to you and giving you such a great racing season. The hats are up, the programs, as the next time around they're going to be reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour. 2 by 2, they check the gauges. Look at who's starting next to them. See who's on the inside and who's on the outside. Tighten of the belts before they're set to go to green flag competition. It appears that we'll go one more time around. 100 laps of competition. Brought to you by Coca-Cola. They are set. The first highly competitive, $3,000 to win. $2,500 for second, $2,000 for third. Over $21,000 is up for grabs in the Coca-Cola Fall Final event here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. One more time, they are told by starter Frank Scamato. Next time, be prepared and anticipate.
Time national champ Richie Evans on the pill. Looks like we will get a start this time around. And now here to call the start of the Coca-Cola Fall Final is the voice of the Stafford Speedway, Ben Dodge.
Off the fourth turn, 2 by 2, side by side. Green flag comes out. Evans just winds it up. Kenny Bouchard on the high side. Evenly matched, they hit for turn 1. Except they're looking for the green, but they are reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour down the back straightaway. Evans pulls out in front. Corky Cookman already up to second. Third is Kenny Bouchard on the high side. Brett Bodine changes lanes. He moves down low. Off the fourth turn, 1 lap and down. Evans is your leader as they head for turn 1.
It is indeed the rapid Roman Richie Evans setting the pace here in the Fall Final at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Corky Cookman for second. Hung out to dry on the outside is the 10 of Stan Greger as the field begins to get strung out. Single file now through turns 3 and 4. Making a bold move up on the outside is the 21 of George Summers. And he finds himself right up alongside of St. Angelo and behind Pastriak. Richie Evans leads the charge. Corky Cookman, Kenny Bouchard, Brett Bodine, Stan Greger, Tony Siscone, and Carl Pastriak down the backstretch.
Deep into turn number 3, and off the fourth turn, Evans has got it all dialed in. George Summers is the only car to work the outside of this racetrack. He's really starting to put pressure on the number 75 of Carl Pastriak. Evans still leading the event. Corky Cookman setting in second. Third is Kenny Bouchard. Fourth is Brett Bodine, and fifth is Stan Greger. Unchanged throughout the field. They are running strong. Here comes Brian Roth to work his way to put some pressure on the number U2 of St. Angelo as they head off the fourth turn.
Keep an eye on Brian Roth and 59 of Jamie Tomato. Remember, that's a brand new ride for him this afternoon. Tomato is car number 59 right behind Brian Roth. As Kenny Bouchard pulls right over of Richie Evans, but it's still early in the race. 5 laps show on the racing scoreboard here as we
Bouchard is just tucked down underneath Corky Cookman's number 04. We've got a problem. It is car number 5 for Brian Ross, the U2 machine, driven by Ed St. Angelo. No contact, we believe, was made. Possibly some damage done, though, to the Universal Auto Salvage number U2, as Brian Ross starting up his car, and he pulls away under his own power. Remember that cautions do count. 6 laps are showing on the scoreboard, as your leader is the number 61 of Richie Evans.
Tough break for Brian Ross. As you can see, he has both front wheels pointing inward, and that is going to be a difficult task for the Wilsberg crew to get that car back in shape. He, the 7 of Fleury, the 28 of Brunhosel, and Ross now pulls into the infield area. It'll be interesting to see just what Ernie Wilsberg and his crew will be able to do with car number 5. We mentioned a little bit earlier in the day, Ben, the fact that Lady Luck has not been riding with the Wilsberg crew this year, and once again, the car is in the pit area, this time with some rather severe front-end alignment damage, and it appears as though they are going to send the car back out, perhaps only to try to stay in the lead lap. We'll find out if Brian Ross intends to do that. In fact, he does. He pulls right up along the side of the pace car.
Know exactly how to do this type of procedure in order not to lose a lap. They are really working it really close this time. The only problem with strategy such as this is if next time around everybody's ready, they're going to go to green, and they could be caught. Would be if they were under caution.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it because it's going to develop right in front of our eyes right now.
They are working on the right front wheel of the car, and it was towed out excessively, which usually indicates there is some damage done to either one of the strut rods or one of the ends on the rack and pinion steering on the Wilsberg number 5.
Starter Frank Scambato tells the field to cross over and be ready. Once again, these caution laps do count, and this is why the Wilsberg crew is playing this kind of a game, trying to stay on the lead lap. They sent Brian Ross back out. Front end is still anything but perfect. As Brian Ross will attempt to stay in the lead lap, to look for another caution in order to come in and make additional adjustments. Pace car is in.
The green flag comes out rather rapidly. Everybody is on the gas, heavy off the 4th turn. Evans has got to wound up once again. Corky Cookman running in the number 2 spot. Brett Ryan works his way to the outside of Kenny Bouchard. It takes him a couple of laps to get those Hoosier tires hooked up, but once they get cooking, watch out. He is a terror on that racetrack. Brett Ryan has now taken over the 3rd spot. Kenny Bouchard has to settle for the 4th position, but here comes Tony Siscone with that Raceworks number 14. Siscone is really dialed in and looking very, very impressive.
It's not that often that a driver can come from another racetrack and not compete here on a regular basis and dial it in, such as Siscone has done here today. He runs in the top 5 and looks as strong as any competitor on the racetrack. George Summers up on the outside once again, trying to pick up a spot this time, trying to get by Jamie Tomato. Moving into the thick of it, the 4 of Carl Bud Stevens, as the field begins to jostle for position. The 24 of Spencer also moving into the thick of the battle as Richie Evans continues to set the pace. 12-lap show on the Winston Racing Series scoreboard.
Off the 4th turn, it is still the Rapid Roman leading the pack as Corky Cookman is right there in his back bumper. Brett Ryan sets to the 3rd position. 4th is the number 55, and 5th is the number 14 of Tony Siscone. Carl Bugsy Stephen is spreading the deal through traffic rather nicely now with car number 4. Remember, he started in the back of the pack in the 15th position, and he is already moving into contend with your top 10 race cars. Off the 4th turn, George Summers tries to take it back once again in that battle raging for about the 10th spot as Corky Cookman puts the bid on Richie Evans as they head down the back straightaway. 14 laps are down in this 100-lap event sponsored by Coca-Cola here this afternoon, and it looks like Evans is still running on rails and dominating the racing action down turn 1.
You remember back to 200 on Labor Day, Richie Evans ran so strong for so long, only to run out of tires, and we'll have to keep a very close.
Putting the pressure on Cookman, and we've got a spin on the back straightaway. George Brunhosel goes around with car number 28. Brunhosel will bring out the 2nd caution of the event while spinning off turn number 2. Unofficially, Actually, here's how they stand. Your lead automobile is Richie Evans. Second, Corky Cookman. Third is Brett Bodine was really putting the pressure on after Cookman got a little bit out of shape. Leaders head to the pit area as we go directly back to green. Evans has got it. Brett Bodine has taken over second. As they approach turn number one, the whole thing could change a bit. And it does. Brett Bodine manages to take over the number 2 spot as our group of cars decide that they can't make it this time. They head back out in hopes of not losing a lap either at the back of the field.
Has to be a frustrating move for Brunhosel, for Fleury, and for Ross as they actually made it into the pit area. All they have to scoot out so they didn't end up down a lap. Richie Evans continues to set the pace. However, as you mentioned, man, position number 2 now finds itself belonging to Brett Bodine. Corky Cookman runs in the 3rd spot. Kenny Bouchard is in 4th as Bodine begins to close that gap now on Richie Evans. The Diego Orange number 12, the Cherry Cup entry.
He is running, and he is starting to move in on Richie Evans with 26 laps and counting down.
You have to keep an eye on car number 4. Carl Bug Stevens has been slowly but surely moving his way up through the pack. Remember, he started 13th and now finds himself running in the 8th position. 8th spot being held by Stevens. Back there at 9th is Jimmy Spencer. The 10th position, car 59 for Tomato. Just out of the top 10 is the 21 for George Summers.
It appears that George Kent has some type of mechanical problem. He is dropping way off the pace now with car number 26. 27 laps are down. Richie Evans went in just a bit too deep, and he lost about 2 car lengths in his lead with the number 61 machine. It could be a tire problem for the big orange machine.
That has been a problem on the last several races that Evans has run here, and that is a case of running out of tires. Had this been a normal 30-lap Friday night event, Evans would be in good shape, but again, he bumped ever so slightly in that 3rd and 4th turn area. We'll have to keep a very close eye on that. Brett Bodine continues to run second, but Kenny Bouchard now makes a move underneath the 04 of Cookman. Cookman is able to hold on as George Kent now pulls into the pit area. Kent will be the first car to go down a lap as he sits in the pit area, and it is bad news for him as the hood comes off.
George Kent's machine, apparently a mechanical problem in the engine compartment with the number 26 machine. Evans is still got the lead. Second is still Brett Bodine. Third is Corky Cookman. Fourth is still Kenny Bouchard. Fifth is Stan Greger. And sixth is Tony Sisco. Off the 4th turn, Evans still dialed in, looking very, very strong. And Carl Bugsy Stevens is going to work the outside of Carl Pastriak to try to contend as they head for turn 1.
And Stevens right up alongside of Pastriak. However, Carl has the groove, and it is Carl Pastriak and Carl Stevens into turn number 3. The veteran Stevens holds his groove up on the outside as he puts his foot right into the carburetor, and he picks up a position at least half the stripe he had it. We'll see if Stevens can move up into the 7th spot. Not this time, as Pastriak again is able to hold him off.
George Kent's car goes behind the wall, which indicates that he is out of the competition here this afternoon as they are about to lap car number 5, the car driven by Brian Ross, which is involved in the first caution here this afternoon. Richie Evans still leading the event. Second is Brett Bodine, car number 12. Third is George X goes around, and so does the number 22 of George LeBlanc. It appears that the Bob Judkins machine has lost a hose or something in the engine compartment. An excessive amount of smoke and liquid coming out of Jerry Marquis' number 2X, but it looks like it is pulling away under its own power. Something as minor as a hose has forced him out of the competition and heading back to the pit area.
But Roman certainly had that chariot cranked right up.
No question about it. He was really starting to develop a strong lead. Here comes Brian Ross back to the pit area. Ross's machine still has a bad toe-in problem on the car. They've been trying to correct it, but they haven't really got any breaks where they could spend any time in the pit area. Car number 28 also into the pits, and so is LeBlanc's number 22 with the Ralph Solom machine, car number 0. Solom's car, they're putting on what appears to be a new right rear tire. Also appears that car number 07, Reggie Ruggiero, is looking to head to the pit area, along with the number 7, New York, of Tom Baldwin. Mark Fleury also looking to head back to the vet of the season.
Evans has gone winless here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. He was quoted as saying he is coming to Stafford ready to win. So, you know that Richie Evans was prepared for this event. Interestingly enough, in warm-ups, in the early warm-ups, granted the track was somewhat green and a little bit on the slick side, but in the early going in warm-ups, Evan with the pace car.
2 by 2, side by side, approaching turn number 3. Richie Evans down low, Brett Bodine on the high side. Green flag comes back out. Brett Bodine gets caught in the loose stuff just momentarily. Corky Cookman is back to second. Evans is your leader.
No matter how things change, some things remain the same, and Richie Evans, he is once again on top of things here this afternoon as he really stretches it out. Car number 7 for Mark Fleury back into the pit area with a flat right front tire. Evans off of the 4th turn, all by himself as he is managed in one lap to open up about a 3-car length lead over Cookman.
Deep in his third at number 2, Cookman holds on for second. Brett Bodine had to settle for third after that full move that didn't quite pull off. For the number 12 machine, George LeBlanc is back to the infield area. Mark Fleury has a flat tire. We've got a scramble occurred in the racetrack for about the 6th spot. Gregor is holding on to the 5th position. Trouble now. It is Brian Ross again with car number 5. Ross is heading back to the pit area. We are still under green. Carl Patrick has moved into the 6th spot. 7th is the number 24, Jimmy Spencer. 8th is now Carl Bugsy Stevens. 9th is Tony Siscone. And 10th is Jamie Tomato.
One of the big moves following that restart came from Spencer, who was out of the top 10, and now he finds himself well into the top 10. In fact, right on the bumper of Carl Patrick. Spencer, who won the ROC just 2 weeks ago down in Pocono, moves underneath the 75 of Carl Pastriak and now goes side by side across the stripe. Pastriak slams the door on Spencer into turn number 1. Tony Siscone up on the outside. Carl Bug Stevens looks to the inside. There's a lot of accident happening back in the pack as Richie Evans is waltzing along all by himself in the lead with 48 laps showing on the scoreboard.
Jimmy Spencer, car number 24, started 17th on the grid. He is working his way to the front with ease with the number 24 machine. He is right behind car number 75, the Patrick and Son paving machine, which currently sets in the 6th position. Carl Patrick has been doing a great job of working his way to the front, and that's really where the action is. Behind the Patrick machine and behind the number 24 of Jimmy Spencer. There sets the number 4 Spencer. 8th, Tony Siscone. 9th, the 4 of Carl Bugsy Stevens. 10th is Jamie the Jet Tomato. 11th is the 21 of George Summers. And 12th is Bob Pomerieri, car number 711. That is your lead pack of cars. Behind them, another group of cars led by Magic Hughes, Mike McLaughlin, followed by Mike Stefanik, Ray Miller, John Rosati, and the number 10 machine of John Falcone. Off the 4th turn, Evans still is your leader. Cookman has got his hands full as he is holding off the challenges of Brett Bodine and the number 55 of Kenny Bouchard.
Weir has played a major role in his racing here the last couple of years, and Evans is into the final 47 laps of this event. He will probably try to maintain just enough of a lead to side by side off of turn number 2 into 3. It is Bouchard as he blasts into turn 3. Bodine is dropped back into the 4th spot. 5th is Dan Gregor, and up to 6th is Carl Pastriak.
Carl Pastriak is starting to put pressure on Stan Gregor, number 10 now, as they get down the back straightaway. Looking for the back bumper of the big orange machine, Richie Evans, watch out, because Bouchard is on his way to the front.
He's got those Hoosiers humming, there's no question about it. It takes a couple of laps to build up the tire temperature in those Hoosiers. However, Bouchard certainly seems to have his act together now as he has moved from the 4th spot into 2nd, and he sets his sights on Evans. Richie Evans off of turn 4, nice and easy, as steady as the Swiss watch, leading this pack. 59 laps show on the scoreboard this time around, and Kenny Bouchard is in hot pursuit of the Rapid Roman action here this afternoon. Richie Evans is through turn 3 and 4. Kenny Bouchard runs in the 2nd spot. 3rd is still the 04 of Cookman, followed by Bodine, Pastriak, Gregor, Spencer, Siscone, and Stevens.
75. 6 is now Stan Greger. 7th is Scone. 8th is Carl Bugsy Stevens. 9th is still Jimmy Spencer. And 10th is Jamie the Jet Tomato.
Speaking of Carl Pastriak, it certainly has been a banner year for Richie Evans. We'll run the watch on him this time and see if he is stretched in 2 seconds or not. In fact, it is still a 1.8-second lead for Richie Evans. Kenny Bouchard runs in the second spot. Corky Cookman is third, and the 12 of Brett Bodine rounds out the top 4.
72 laps are complete in this Coca-Cola 100 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Evans has got 2 lap automobiles in between him and the number 55 of Kenny Bouchard. Corky Cookman setting in a comfortable third. Brett Bodine is running in the 4th position. And 5th is Carl Pastriak, car number 75.
Keep in mind that it has been a long spell since Richie Evans sat in victory lane here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and he wants to wrap that up this afternoon and take down the win in this 100-lap event, the Coca-Cola Fall Final. Evans, of course, the former track champion here at Stafford, knows his way around. We're into the final 25 laps. At 75 laps, let's give you the rundown. It is the 61 of Richie Evans, the 55 of Kenny Bouchard. Next is the 04 of Corky Cookman, the 12 of Brett Bodine, the 75 of Pastriak, the 10 of Stan Greger, the 14 of Tony Siscone, and the 4 of Carl Bugs Stevens. That was your unofficial rundown at lap 75.
75 laps and counting down, and it is still, just as Russ Dowd had mentioned, the same order we ran on lap number 75 that we're on now on lap 77. Jamie the Jet Tomato in a battle raging for about the 8th, 9th, and 10th position is holding off Mike McLaughlin, car number 8, and the 01 of Ray Miller. 77 laps now showing on the scoreboard. Richie Evans is dialed in out in front. Kenny Bouchard is still running in second, and they are starting to move into lap about the 15th place competitors at this time. That's how strong that they are running. The Rapid Roman is really dialed in after starting in that number 1 spot.
It's about to be put down a lap in just about 4 or 5 laps.
George Summers is trying to hold off Mike Stefanik, and right there to contend with them is Jimmy Spencer along with Bruno's number 28 machine and the number 10 of John Falcone. Stefanik pulls down low with the number 11 and is looking to head to the pit area. A tough break for Mike Stefanik while running in the top 15 here this afternoon.
A brand new race car for Stefanik and the Sonny Cazella operation. Dave Turigny turning the wrenches on that car. In fact, David built that automobile. Turning in a good maiden voyage, however, for car number 11, formerly carrying the number 15 out of the Cazella stable. The story here at Stafford this afternoon can pretty much be summed up in one word. That word would have to be Evans. Richie Evans draws the pole position as George Summers now falters, and it looks as though Summers will be headed into the pit area. And it appears as though Wayne Anderson is also experiencing some problems with car number 15. As we're saying, Evans
Is seaming in the infield area. Jimmy Spencer, car number 24, has stopped up in turn number 2. Spencer's car stopped just momentarily, and now Ray Miller's car is pumping heavy smoke out of the back end of the Rainbow Farms machine.
problems enough on the racetrack to bring out the caution flag. A lot of smoke coming out of the back of the Ray Miller automobile. The black flag now issued to Ray. Apparently there is something on the racetrack.
The number 0 for Marty Radwick. They are all into the pits. They are told to cross up by starter Frank Scavato. They could go right to green flag competition this next time around. Let's see what's going to happen. Off the 4th turn, Granville pace car will take them around one more time with Richie Evans, your number 1 man. Second is number 55 of Kenny Bouchard. Third is Corky Cookman. Fourth is Brett Bodine. Unofficially in 5th, it is Carl Pastriak. 6th is Carl Bugsy Stevens. Unofficially in 7th, it is Tony Siscone. 8th position, we believe, is Stan Greger. And 9th spot would be Magic Shoes Mike McLaughlin, with 10th spot possibly the number 10 of John Falcone. In the pit area. Miller's machine returns to the surface. We go back to green flag racing action. Kenny Bouchard is right in the back bumper of Evans. Evans sideways. Bouchard taps him, lets him know that he is there. Kenny Bouchard is going to go for this one. But Evans pulls away off that second turn. Evans has got some horsepower, but so doesn't Kenny Bouchard. It is not over with yet. As they head for the line this time around, it'll be 11 laps to go.
Here comes Carl Bug Stevens, and he has now moved into the fifth spot. John Rosati also up into the thick of things with Tony Siscone and Carl Pastriak. Rosati is unfortunately down one lap, but giving the Ben Dodge and Son car a very good ride this afternoon here in the Coca-Cola Fall Final. Richie Evans off of the fourth turn into his final 10 laps. 90 laps are down. We're into the final 10. Can the Rapid Roman do it and break that 2-year winless streak here at Stafford? We're going to find out in just a few moments. The battle continues for the lead. However, Evans once again begins to stretch it out as Bug Stevens moves up and around Red Boat Eye. Keep an eye on the Bob Garbarino Mystic River Marina. Entry for Bug Stevens as he has moved up and around car number 12 for Modine. He sets his sights on the back bumper of Cookman. Stevens is on a run. Richie Evans continues to lead. He stretches it out ever so slightly now over Ken Bouchard. They both got their feet in the carburetor, and Stevens is not about to give up. Cookman is able to hold on to that third spot as Evans continues to stretch it out. He and Bouchard have developed about a 15-car length lead over third place, Corky Cookman. And the battle on the racetrack now is for third as Stevens once again moves to the outside of Cookman, trying to pick up yet another spot. But Corky gets the bite off of the second corner, and they're down the backstretch. Into the final 3 laps of the 5th annual Coca-Cola Fall Final here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Richie Evans has led the entire distance and appears to be in pretty good shape to take down the win. Frank Scamato issues the 2-lap to go marker for your leader, the Rapid Roman Richie Evans. Second place, car number 55 for Ken Bouchard. Third place is the hot spot on the racetrack right now as Corky Cookman and Bud Stevens are dealing battle. And the yellow flag comes out on the 98th circuit as we have a spin down in turn number 1. It appears to be the 36th of John Rosati and the 10 of John Falcone coming out on the 98th circuit. However, as we told you at the very beginning of this event, the Fall Final will not be finished Richie Evans, as he has already led this race for over 100 laps, and yet it is still far from over. The crossover signal is given once again. Kenny Bouchard will have his final shot at taking the lead. Car number 59, Jamie Tomeno, a left car, will fall into place. Corky Cookman, who is running in third spot, will move up alongside. Fourth, Carl Bug Stevens. Fifth, the 12 of Brett Modine. In the sixth spot, the 14 of Tony Siscone. Seventh would be Carl Pastriak. Eighth would be the 10 of Stan Greger. Ninth would be the Z8 of Mike McLaughlin, and 10th, the 711 of Paul Barreri. The stage is set, the pace car is in, the green flag is out, and we're back under green flag conditions here in the final moments of the Coca-Cola Fall Final. Richie Evans slams the door on Kenny Bouchard, cutting off of that fourth turn as Evans takes the lead once again. Here comes Stevens up on the outside, trying to make up some lost ground as Brett Modine was able to slide in and pick up that fourth spot on the restart. Evans sets the pace as the white flag now flies. 1 lap to go for your leader. Let's follow them all around. moves underneath Brett Bodine, and Stevens now drops back into the 4th spot. Here we go through turn 3 and 4. Your leader and the winner of the 5th annual Coca-Cola Fall Final here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, Richie Evans. Kenny Bouchard in for second. Third would be the 04 of Corky Cookman.
Bouchard. After finishing an impressive second, Corky Cookman is third. We'll give Evans a moment. He gets the official handshake from promoter Ed Yarrington before he gets out of his automobile and heads to the Coca-Cola victory lane for taking down the win in the Coca-Cola 100 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The winner of the Coca-Cola Fall Final, the Rapid Roman himself, Richie Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, down in Victory Lane, Richie Evans with the victory garland from our lovely Coca-Cola girl, who presents to him an ice-cold Coca-Cola to commemorate taking down the win in this fall event here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Now, if you drew that number 1 spot, but you were running as fast, if not faster, than any other car in the field, and you managed to hold on through several restarts, those restarts had to create a problem for you.
Yeah, when it's a double file at Stafford, anything can happen. The car was running so bad in the heat race, I just never expected it to run that good in the feature. The tires are wore out, but, you know, Goodyear, we planned on pitting at 50 laps, and then it showed everybody was fading a little bit, so I decided to go the distance.
Richie, you did an outstanding job of holding on to take down the win, and there has to be a lot of people that have stuck by you throughout the 1983 season that you have to thank, some of the engine builders and some of the people that have supported the Big Orange Machine.
Yeah, there's, like Ronnie, we haven't lost a motor yet this year, and we only got 2 more races to go, and I hope that I haven't just broken the jinx by saying that, because I've been real quiet. But and Billy and all my guys, they work at it hard. Mr. DeWitt, if it wasn't for him, we'd be in big trouble, but he's in the hospital right now, so I hope he calls checker flag tonight.
Well, I certainly hope he does too. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner in the Modified Division, the Rapid Roman, Richie Evans. If we've got the champagne, we're going to open it up, and we're going to call Kenny Bouchard over, and we'll call over Corky Cookman as we have the Budweiser plaque to be presented next. For taking it down, but that's one of the contributors that have put a lot of money into the race program, and that's what you've been in search of, those very valuable points. The champagne goes off in fine style. Richie Evans, you have to like having another Budweiser plaque to your credit to help you take down this championship.
Yeah, Budweiser, they've put up quite a bit of money, so has Winston, so it helped us to travel around to get the points, and if it weren't for them, I don't think I'd still be chasing points, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richie Evans, Kenny Bouchard, and Corky Cookman, if you would move in, please. Kenny Bouchard finishing in the number 2 spot, as we'll be moving over just a bit to cross over. As Corky Cookman finishes in the 3rd spot, as they'll be moving up on top of the podium area. Corky Cookman, you did a fine job of holding on to that 3rd position. In the early going to the event, you were running a strong 2nd, but the closing laps, you had to fade back just a bit, but you were right in there to contend with them. How did the car perform for 100 laps?
Oh, it was fine early in the race, but it got loose the last 30 laps. I just hanging on. No right rear tire left.
Well, Corky, as always, you did a great job, and this is a great way to end the season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Kenny Bouchard, you had the Tolman Construction Company machine really dialed in, and you almost lost that one. I want to save that one, Wes. You had it really dialed in. You ran a strong 2nd. You've had a great season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. You have to be pleased with that number 2 finish.
Yeah, some of the long-distance races this year, we had a little trouble. We're glad to finish 2nd. Richie ran real good. We were right there. The crew did a super job. All the guys that work on the car work hard, and I'd like to thank Tolman Construction, our sponsor. And I'd like to say that Hoosier Tires, they worked real good today all day. Just a little bit more, maybe somewhere there, we would have given Richie a little harder time, but it was a good race.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's our top 3. We're going to be stepping back for just a moment. We've got 2 additional special awards, the Outstanding Performance Award, selected by Ridgeway Racing Associates, and the Outstanding Performance Award in memory of David Roth and Arnold Fleury. And those presentations will be coming up directly after we have a photo session here at Trackside. We'll be making with the quality stud girdle that is used on the engines that win, and these cars had the Ridgeway stud girdle on them. You did it the hard way, but you were coming on strong. But the event, even though it was 100 laps, wasn't just long enough, but you were really running good.
It was long enough, believe me.
Bugsy, you've had a pretty good season. The cars run well. Bob Garbarino and his crew, whole crew, are a super group of people. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to the 84 season.
Yeah, I think we will. If we can get some tires to stay under us, I think we'll be dangerous.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Arnold Rolfe and the Arnold Fleury and David Rolfe and the Ridgeway Associates Special Awards. Mr. Rolfe goes up there to make the presentation along with them as they have selected Carl Bugsy Stevens, the Outstanding Performance Award, and also the recipient of a Ridgeway stud girdle selected by the media for outstanding performance. And this is once again in memory of David Rolfe and Arnold Fleury and Ridgeway Racing Associates. Well, that concludes the activities down here from trackside for the running of the Coca-Cola Fall Final. We'll go back upstairs to Russ Dowd with the official finish on this 100-lap event. Russ?
Thank you very much, Ben. Finishing first, these are still unofficial, but we'll give them to you as we have them. Finishing first, of course, car number 61 for Richie Evans. In for second, the 55 of Ken Bouchard. Third, the 04 of Corky Cookman. Fourth, the 4 of Carl Bug Stevens. Fifth, the 12 of Brett Bodine. Sixth, the 75 of Carl Pastriak. Seventh, the 14 of Tony Siscone. Eighth, the 10 of Stan Greger. Ninth, the 711 of Bob Pulvereri. And 10th, the Z8 of Mike McLaughlin.